National Football League, presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Third and long for Cousins. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Fielded at the 43. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40. A big play there for Minnesota. 41 yards on the ground. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 26 yards. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Buying time to his left. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Bailey got the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So out now come the Lions. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in it.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Muhammad Wilkerson elevated a tempo program that was looking for players like him, and he's carried that on into the NFL. What a terrific play there.
Yeah, a nice tackle for loss for the former Temple Owl, as you said, and the 30th pick in the 2011 draft. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run. Probing now early to try and get things done later.
Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
And on the ground they go with a running back. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. He's trying to parlay that great performance last week, NFC Offensive Player of the Week in Week 2, into a great performance in Week 3.
And the way he was able to do it last week, he started off doing it again this week. Energy, the way he comes off the line of scrimmage, attacks the defense, sets them back on their heels, and he finds openings as a result.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw now on first down. Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
All right, here we go.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Roberts got it. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be fourth down. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Play fake. Cousins. And he finds a man with a crossing route. 30. The 20. 10. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And, yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Play action. They'll throw. Connects it to Roberts, right side. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Now back to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Past the 20. And now running right through it. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. From the gun, here's Cousins. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Cousins. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And Justin Coleman brings him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll run it here. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. And a nice gain of 21 yards. This quarterback now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here.
Now let's go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down right around the 25. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively a dime look. 6 DBs. They'll look to throw. Left side complete, Severian Jenkins. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give a little bit of help.
They'll look to throw here. It's caught by Roberts. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away, maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Here we go.
Throwing, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A minute 57 to go in this first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. And they'll go on the ground. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally,
All right, here we go.
creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they'll run it here. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. As they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This will be fielded at the 17. Oh, fighting off the defender. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
All right, now here we go. Oh. Yellow, 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 yellow.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Touchdown, Vikings! A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot. Hot.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Still fighting through tackles. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 18 yards there and a 1st down. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
First down carry here for Johnson. Fancy footwork at the 45. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold it.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It'll be a gain of 11, and that'll bring up a third down.
But it looks like they caught him off guard on second and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on third down.
The Lions on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll set up a throw. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here's Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. This kick to shatter the NFL record, a 69-yard attempt.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And they'll run it here. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Spurs.
On second down, Cook. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Vikings on third down, not good, 0 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Gun.
They'll try and run forward with Smith. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his first, this from 41. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count for.
And it's a fumble, but I believe a Lion was there to recover it. Yes, they will indeed keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got room. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big pickup there on 3rd and 10. 56 yards on the ground. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
They pitch it out to Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. They'll drop to throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal.
Detroit! All right, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. So no gain on the play. They'll decline the penalty to not give them the down back.
And were you thinking to yourself that maybe they would take the yardage there?
Yeah,
because
possibly.
I definitely was. But as you noted, maybe they're just looking at the downs chart and saying, okay, we're comfortable where we are.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs them up for another 2nd and goal.
Gone!
Back to throw here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Back to throw. Steps away to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Everson Griffin in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That good for 22 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. The Vikings on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And he's able to put it through. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They don't want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Right back to him on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first two plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Here we go now. Boom, landed. Boom, landed.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it. And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. Well, the fake punt gets only a yard, but that's enough to pick up the first. Now, this worked, so I guess I shouldn't be nitpicking too much, but they only had a couple of inches to go. Why fake punt?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. If you're going to go ahead and try and pick it up in that short of a distance, I wouldn't even gone to fake punt formation. This is like using up a big play for no reason at all. Leave your offense on the field and pick it up. But again, what were we doing? We're nitpicking, right? Because they did get it.
It worked. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now a handoff. Johnson. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. A good productive run there on first down. He winds up getting 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The Lions on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 3. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll take this one down to the 36. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And now out comes Minnesota. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter. in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Taken in at the 22. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll set up to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. A big play there. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win them the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Prater for the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to 18. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it, and they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Minnesota, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Lions, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.